Hello again everyone and welcome back to the Stanley Parable. We are here back at the beginning of the game after the long confusion ending we went through last time, and the narrator himself even got confused to what the hell was actually happening, so yeah.
But Stanley simply
Oh
couldn't
shit!
handle
What?
the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility?
The door
He had never
closed.
been trained
I didn't even realise.
No. This couldn't go anywhere except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will happen. Nothing will
I went to
happen.
press W, I pressed E, and then the thing would...
happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
What? Ah, my game restarts. What the fuck? So I guess we'll actually go out this time.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Stanley
decided to go to
this game is honestly
a memo.
like so bizarre and like a mindfuck, but it's so beautiful at the same time. Right, so
When Stanley came
this
to a set
time
of two open doors, he entered the door on his
we're
left.
going the right way. We just go on as we were. If I just actually mute my phone for a second, because I don't want any natural interruptions. There we go. Fantastic. Right.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an
That's
answer
about right
there.
for most jobs. Yeah, okay, so let's... Can we go to the broom closet again?
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Fabulous.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Was there anything actually different upstairs past this point, or...? No, we'll go downstairs this time. Fire hose.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk?
Exactly.
All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went?
Good question.
And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar.
Nah.
Were they simply repeating?
Yes.
No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all.
He's just dreaming.
I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Whoa!
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
It's a fair question.
Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley. He found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts.
Oh, it's all getting weird now.
And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing
You've
the
been
voice
awoke into
was a
reality,
shock
Stanley.
to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago?
Exactly.
How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control.
Oh, God.
That this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently,
Oh.
and he invited himself to wake up.
Oh.
He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay. Stanley began screaming.
Oh, no!
Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real.
There's no way out.
Just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Oh. What the
This is
actual
the
fuck?
story of a woman named Mariella.
What? Mariella?
woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work.
Oh,
But
shit!
on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
What the actual fuck? What the hell? What? Stanley just dropped dead on the sidewalk because he went crazy, essentially.
Hi, Stanley. Just wanted to leave you a message to let you know there's
I've
a few
heard
things
this, yeah.
I need you to pick up on your way home from work today.
No.
We need milk, cereal, dishes.
Yeah, I've already heard that message. And it's very confusing because that phone is not Stanley's phone. So why is that one ringing?
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors,
We'll go left
he
again.
entered the door on his left.
So,
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Oh no, no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
Very well. Wow, it's funny.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked
go upstairs again.
to his boss's office.
I can't remember any branching paths after this moment, to be honest. That was a
Stepping
gigantic
into his
room.
office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known
No
this.
way. So if I actually put it in this time. There we go.
Incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened
Incredible,
to input
Stanley.
the correct
Unbelievable.
code by sheer luck. Amazing. He
Fantastic.
stepped into the newly opened passageway.
So this is familiar. I'm pretty sure this is familiar to me. So we go down slowly. Now we load. So there may have been different things to do down in the big old room with all the computers and such, was there? Maybe. Oh, there was the option to actually turn on the system, wasn't there? Yeah, I remember now. I think.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Revelations, Stanley, revelations. Right, so let's save the game here. So we have a good... It saved that, didn't it? Boom. Yeah, okay. Yes, there we go.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
So we walked straight ahead last time, so let's escape.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Oh. Violent
The door
death, you
behind him
say?
was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Huh. Interesting. Oh well. Did we die? Maybe we died. Is this actually an escape? Are we being fooled by the narrators? Is the narrator on our side? I don't even know anymore, to be honest with you. What's happening? I don't know. Holy crap.
As the machine whirred into motion,
I'm stuck in a
Stanley was inched
like a
closer
mine
and
cart.
closer to his demise. He reflected that his
Oh
life
god,
had
the things...
no consequence whatsoever.
Are we going to get
Stanley
crushed?
can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story.
Oh no.
Trapped forever in his narrow vision.
Oh no.
This is.
Oh no.
Perhaps his death was of no great
Oh
use,
no.
like plucking the eyeballs
Oh,
from
help
one
us,
eye.
please.
So he
No.
resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow
No.
life. Farewell, Stanley.
No! Stanley, no! Stanley!
Farewell, Stanley,
What?
cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws.
What?
In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
What? I'm sorry? What's this? The Stanley Parable.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever.
It's funny how things work.
What did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
What is this?
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Oh, so this is like the workshop, essentially. This blueprint shows the office in the beginning of the game. The path from Stanley's office to the two doors was the first part of the game that was built. Sections have been added and altered throughout development. Though the core layout remains almost identical to the first iteration. What the hell? The pacing of this opening section was important to Garrett. His corridors have been moved and altered to make sure the player reaches the two doors in a good time. Oh, what the hell? The office. So these are the doors. The two doors. The set of two doors, two open doors, was the very first concrete piece of the Stanley Parable's design. Once this room was created, the rest of the game emerged as an extension of it, and an exploration of the contradiction this room posed. Filing cabinets. What on earth is this? Office computers? Was that one playing solitaire? What's that one? Installation. I was trying to install something. Let's turn that off. Button sounds. The selection of the sounds used throughout the game when buttons are pressed. Each sound is a mix of a keyboard stroke and a synthesized tone. They sound very Half-Life-y. What on earth? Credits. Kevin Brighting is the narrator. Well, Kevin Brighting, you are a genius, I must say. The office. Maintenance room, another version of the maintenance room. Wow, so this is just a giant thing which you can just explore and see everything that was inside the game. It's almost like a developer's room, but it's in the game. Boss office. Screens of development of the boss office. Wow. Employee lounge. Another version of the underground portion of the game. Narration outtakes. Kevin Brighton, the voice of the narrator, recorded dialogue for the entire game roughly 3 separate times over 2 years of development. These are clips from early takes that were not used in the final game.
When Stanley came to the lift, he traveled upward to the power source at the top of the facility to end this injustice forever. Then he pushed the grate. Stanley walked through the green door.
Those are weird. You can only hear them when you're looking at the sign. Okay, you can't hear them very well either, I must admit. So much here. Like, genuinely, wow. Freedom ending. This was the very first incarnation of the freedom ending in the game's alpha. Okay. Countdown desk. One of the desks from an early version of the countdown ending. Oh. What? Shit, I missed that. Ah, crap. Oh. Oh. Okay, maybe I was just giving different options. Like, I don't think we've had the countdown ending, have we? Zending model. The Zending went through many iterations. This room represents the 4th version of the ending, and we thought it was complete, but decided to abandon and change it again shortly before launch. What's the Zending? The Zending? Zending. This screenshot depicts an early version of the ending known as the Zending, which was eventually cut and merged with another part of the game. Oh, okay. So that's not actually in the game. These levers were originally part of this ending. The player would pull a lever and the narrator would describe what colour lever they have pulled. How exciting. Escape menu. For a long time we had ending that only ended when the player restarted from the escape menu. Unfortunately, very few players realised this was what they were supposed to do, which is frustrating for everyone. I bet that is this ending. I'd wager that's actually this ending, isn't it? The apartment timer. In a previous version of the choice leading to the apartment ending, a time would give you 15 seconds to pick up the phone. Not pick up the phone would lead to a different ending. Oh, they actually cut an ending. The second version is functionally the same as what's in the final game, but we want it to look more like a place where cargo is actually stored. Okay. The office. I'm getting lost in this place. After the second trailer we sent out, we asked people to email the narrator for questions. While we initially planned to use these in further promotional materials, we never found the perfect use of them. Here are a selection of those emails. What is Stanley's last name? Ooh. Okay. More endings, fewer endings, more narrations, fewer. An HD remix. A Warzone? Early development, we designed an ending where Stanley would end up in a battlefield fighting aliens. The action game would become sentient and would wage war against the narrator. We realised shortly after starting to build it that it was far too joking on the nose for the tone of the game. But some people interpret it as making fun of people who like shooters, which was not our intention. So is this all stuff that they genuinely were actually going to put into the game? That's actually insane. This is actually so fascinating to actually look around. Like, honestly, it's actually really cool. Did we miss anything? I don't think we did. We didn't go here, did we? For a time, the elevator to the monitor room could go up or down, with freedom above and countdown below. We banned this when players found it too difficult to remember what was up and what was down, and placed the two endings together instead. Ah. Oh. So we didn't go down that way. Oh. Game design mock-up. This is the level that William, the level designer, sent Davey, the writer, as a kind of audition piece. The strength of this level got William hired to design the full game. Though much of the environment has changed, the basic layout from this mock-up is still in the game. Oh yeah. This is actually crazy. From left to right, the evolution of Stanley's office over time. The first was created in November 2011, the second in March 2012, and the third in February 2013. Wow. They're very subtle changes, but I wonder if there's any reason why it was specifically number 427. Do we think? I'm honestly not sure. Right. So let's go to the alleged exit, apparently. Apparently there is actually an exit here. I don't know. Maybe. Excuse me. Wow. Oh.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Do we turn this off?
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me.
Oh.
You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice.
Save. But leave it, what happens?
Don't choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time...
Who is Stanley? Now I wonder, possibly, if this ending is the one where you're meant to press restart. Just maybe. I'm thinking it might be a distinct possibility, actually. Yeah. Maybe. Yep. Just potentially. Begin the game again. Well, that was interesting, wasn't it? That was different. Stanley got lovely and crushed. Quite a shocking amount of these paths just lead to Stanley dying. It's actually quite upsetting. Yeah. Right, so I think we shall end this episode here, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed. If you have, then please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I'll catch you in the next episode of the Stanley Parable. Thanks again, guys. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.